Life for All presents Daily Food Series Genesis, The Beginning. Title of Book 1, The Beginning, by Pedro. Week 2. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Monday. God created time to fulfill His will. Read with prayer. It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give the fountain of water of life freely to him who thirsts. Revelation chapter 21, verse 6. The theme of this week's message is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the beginning, God created time and laid the foundation to fulfill His will. He created the heavens and the earth, and formed the spirit of man within him. Man was created in a special way. He received the divine breath to be filled with the life and nature of God. Thus, filled with God, man can carry out his will, to make Christ the head over all things. This concerns the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. God is raising an army of 144,000 chosen ones, engaged in the struggle to bring this age to an end and bring in Christ's millennial kingdom. To achieve this goal, the Lord has supplied us with His Word. We enjoyed Peter's epistles and intended to go to Genesis, but the Spirit led us to the book of Galatians. This is because, in studying Peter's letters, we realized that after the vigorous start in Jerusalem, there was an influence that negatively affected the atmosphere of the church there. The light of the Lord was intensified, and we realized that the change occurred after the great persecution suffered by the church and described in the 8th chapter of Acts. Some argued that the church should not be so radical, and that they should return to the practice of circumcision and the law of Moses. Peter and the other apostles could not allow this. Hence, the Christians in Jerusalem chose James as their main leader. After Acts chapter 15, there is no further mention of the apostles in Jerusalem. The church had taken the path of zeal for the law. Peter wrote his second letter, which had the purpose of recalling the words spoken at the beginning, and was addressed to those who were at the beginning of the church and had rejected these false prophets and teachers who opposed Peter, the other apostles, and consequently the work of God. In this context, the Spirit directed us to the book of Galatians, in which Paul shows Abraham to be the father of faith. He believed in God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. God promised him to be the heir of the world through his seed, Christ. Now, without abrupt changes, following the line of direction of the Spirit, we are enjoying the book of Genesis. We are walking in a new revelation. The existence of time has the purpose of bringing about the fulfillment of God's will. And when it is accomplished, time will cease because it has a beginning and an end. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, Ephesians chapter 1, verses 9 and 10. The 6th verse of Revelation 21 allows us to understand the origin and the end of time in the description of the expression, "It is done." This means that everything God needed to do was completed within the time He had created, according to His good pleasure. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 5. Just as it began, time comes to its fullness, that is, its end. Verse 10. Moreover, in the next chapter we read, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Revelation chapter 21, verse 13. We now understand that God is referring specifically to the creation of time for the execution of His will. The mystery of God's will is to cause Christ to head up all things in the dispensation of the fullness of the times. What does "in the dispensation of the fullness of the times" mean? When time ends, after the various dispensations of time, God will make His will prevail, which is to cause Christ to head up all things, both in the heavens and those on earth. He is doing this through the church. Ephesians chapter 1, verses 20 through 23. Christ is already above all things. He is seated at the right hand of God. So all things are already under His feet. But everything is not subject to Him. Our head, Christ, is in heaven, but He is also working in the body. That is, He is working through the church so that all things may be subject to Him. This will definitively happen when the church reaches the fullness of Him who fills all in all.